Have you ever woken up feeling like you're on the brink of something extraordinary, but you just can't put your finger on what it is? What if the very discomfort, the restless nights, and the nagging questions in your mind are the universe's way of telling you that your greatest chapter is about to begin? In today's video, we're uncovering the 7 unmistakable signs that signal you're about to step into the most powerful, beautiful, and meaningful stage of your life. From questioning everything you thought you knew to feeling an undeniable pull toward personal growth, each sign is a sacred clue designed to guide you toward your highest self. Stick around to the end, because you'll discover exactly what these signals look like in your daily life, so you never miss them again. You'll learn how to turn confusion and doubt into actionable steps that propel you forward. You'll understand why letting go of toxic patterns isn't just healthy, it's essential for your transformation. You'll gain practical tips to strengthen your intuition so you can make decisions with unwavering confidence. By the time we're done, you'll not only recognize these life-changing signs, you'll know how to harness them so you can confidently embrace the extraordinary journey waiting just ahead. Let's dive in. If you haven't subscribed to our channel yet, please click the subscribe button and ring the notification bell to stay updated on all our latest content. Sign 1. You question everything you thought you knew. Have you ever felt an undercurrent of disquiet stirring in your chest as though a gentle earthquake is rumbling beneath the surface of your everyday life? If so, you're not alone, and you're certainly not broken. In my journey, I've experienced those long, sleepless nights when familiar truths dissolve into a haze of doubt. Suddenly, the convictions you once held as ironclad, your beliefs about success, the relationships you treasured, even the story you told yourself about who you are, begin to feel flimsy like old paper caught in a restless breeze. It's disorienting. It's scary. Yet somehow, amid this internal upheaval, there's an undeniable spark of hope. That spark, believe it or not, is your soul cheering you on. It's the sacred signal that your spirit is hungry for something deeper, something more aligned with your authentic self. Yes, it stings to admit that some of your most cherished ideas might have been illusions, stories you absorbed from your upbringing, your culture, or the expectations of others. But here's the thing, when those illusions start to crack, they reveal the hidden chambers of your heart, places brimming with raw potential and untapped passion. I remember the first time I allowed myself to question why I was on a certain path. My hands trembled as I wrote down my goals, then crumpled the paper with a sense of both loss and liberation. In that moment, I felt grief for the old me who had clung so tightly to a version of success that never truly fit, and yet I felt exhilaration for the new me that was just waiting to be born. That dichotomy, pain and promise intertwined, was the universe's way of telling me, you're ready. So, if you've caught yourself asking the big questions, who am I, beneath the roles I play? What do I truly want versus what I've been told to want? Welcome that trembling curiosity with open arms. Each doubt is a doorway, each tear a testament to the depth of your longing. Instead of running from the discomfort, let yourself sit in it, breathe through it, and watch as it transforms into a powerful catalyst for change. Yes, dismantling old mental structures can feel like losing your grip on the map you've carried your whole life. But the truth is, a new map is unfolding a landscape painted with your unique colors, guided by your bravest self. Embrace this sacred shaking. It's your invitation to step fully into who you were always meant to be. Sign 2. You feel a growing disconnection from your past. Have you noticed a subtle aching sense of emptiness when you revisit the hobbies, routines, or friendships that once brought you so much joy? That sudden void, like watching a favorite movie frame slowly fade to gray, is not just a fleeting mood, it's your soul gently urging you onward. I've experienced it myself, the moment when my morning jog felt mechanical, when my once beloved book club gatherings left me restless, and when familiar faces no longer sparked the warmth they used to. In those instances, I felt a deep, bittersweet pang of loss, as though part of me was slipping quietly into the background. But here's what I've come to believe: this unraveling is a powerful invitation. It signals that the person you've long been is evolving into someone new, someone whose yearnings and passions have outgrown the old scripts. The safe routines you once clung to now feel confining, like wearing a coat that no longer fits. And yes, it can be painful to recognize that your old sources of comfort no longer serve you. I've shed tears over fading friendships and wistfully flipped through photo albums of moments that now seem foreign. Yet amid that wistful sorrow, there's an undercurrent of exhilaration. This disconnection clears the ground for fresh, vibrant possibilities. It's like the forest floor after a fire-stripped bare yes, but fertile and humming with potential. As the roots of your former identity loosen, their hold space opens up for new dreams to take root. You might suddenly feel drawn to explore a forgotten passion, to meet new people who resonate with your emerging self, or to restructure your daily life in ways that feel thrillingly unfamiliar. Embrace this bittersweet shift. Honor the tenderness of nostalgia, but recognize that nostalgia is merely a farewell gesture, not a prison sentence. Every dissolved routine, every faded bond makes room for connections and experiences that align with who you're becoming. By leaning into this sacred disconnection, you're not abandoning your past, you're honoring it by creating the freedom needed for your deepest growth. And once you allow this transformation to flow, you'll discover an entirely new landscape of possibility unfolding beneath your feet. Sign 3. You begin to question what truly matters. Have you ever paused mid-chase, perhaps, in the glare of fluorescent office lights or while tapping away at your phone, and felt a sudden pang of unease, as if your soul is whispering, "Why are you still doing this?" I've been there. I remember celebrating a career milestone that should have felt triumphant, only to find my heart strangely hollow. In that moment, everything I once believed would bring fulfillment, prestige, paychecks, the nods of approval from colleagues, felt like empty echoes. This awakening isn't a gentle breeze. It's a powerful gale that sweeps away the dust of conformity. Social expectations, the invisible checklist of shoulds, lose their weight. Material goals that once dazzled your imagination suddenly appear as gilded cages, trapping you in routines that drain your vitality. You begin to realize that another's praise, no matter how effusive, can never fill the deep, resonant longing within your spirit. If you are still watching this video and find these lessons helpful, please comment number 1 below to let me know that you are still watching this video with me. At first, this clarity can be terrifying. You may feel adrift, untethered from the landmarks that once guided your course. I remember the nights when I lay awake, mind racing with doubts. Am I betraying my family's dreams? Will I regret turning away from the path everyone expected me to follow? Those questions stung. But each one peeled back another layer of illusion. In this fertile zone of uncertainty, however, a new insight takes root. You start craving experiences that feed your soul, an impromptu dance in the kitchen, heartfelt conversations with friends who see your true self, moments of awe beneath the starlit sky. These authentic connections, these sparks of true presence become your North Star. As you ask deeper questions, what do I genuinely value? What legacy do I want to leave, yo? You discover answers that don't come from trend reports or peer pressure, but from the quiet voice within. It might be a sudden tear in your eyes when you witness kindness, or a thrill of excitement at the thought of helping someone in need. Embrace this beautiful upheaval. Let go of the glittering distractions that no longer resonate. In their place, cultivate what truly matters: soul-nourishing experiences, relationships steeped in honesty, and a life rhythm that echoes the unique song of your heart. This is the turning point where you step off the well-worn path and begin crafting a journey that feels genuinely, unforgettably you. Sign 4. Your intuition becomes unmistakably strong. Have you ever experienced a moment when your body seemed to know more than your mind? I remember a time when I was debating 2 job offers, one with a hefty salary and another with a smaller paycheck, but a mission that stirred my soul. Every spreadsheet and pros and cons list pointed toward the higher paying role. Yet something deep within me kept whispering, "This isn't your path." My heart raced each time I imagined accepting the lucrative offer, while a surprising sense of peace washed over me when I envisioned the more meaningful position. That is the unmistakable power of intuition, an inner compass that guides you beyond logic when the numbers just don't add up. At first, you may dismiss these gut feelings as coincidence or overactive imagination. I certainly did, until the universe began orchestrating chance meetings, serendipitous emails, and fleeting ideas that all aligned so perfectly with those whispers in my chest. It was as if the cosmos were leaning in, nudging me to trust that steady inner knowing. As you learn to honor these subtle signals, perhaps a flutter in your stomach, a gentle tightening in your throat, or a sudden flash of clarity, you'll find that decisions no longer feel like agonizing puzzles. Instead, they become graceful dances between your mind and your heart. Every choice rooted in intuition radiates a deep sense of alignment. Work feels less like drudgery and more like purpose. Relationships resonate at a soul-deep frequency, and everyday moments carry an undercurrent of magic. The world around you starts to shimmer with synchronicity. Strangers speak exactly the words you needed to hear. Books fall open to passages that answer your unspoken questions. And even a song on the radio can feel like a personal message. In those moments, you know without a doubt, you are exactly where you're meant to be. Embracing your intuition doesn't abandon reason, it enriches it. Logical analysis and soulful insight merge, giving you an unshakable confidence that your path is divinely guided. When you fully trust that inner voice, life unfolds with ease and grace, revealing that your most profound wisdom has been within you all along. Sign 5. You crave personal growth above all else. Have you ever looked in the mirror and realized that simply going through the motions, waking up, working, sleeping, no longer satisfies the hungry fire kindling inside you? I remember the exact moment it happened to me. I was halfway through another obligatory training webinar. My eyes glazed over as the presenter droned on. Suddenly, my chest tightened, and I thought, is this really how I want to spend my life? In that heartbeat, I felt an undeniable pull toward something more, to a life defined not by comfort, but by courage and expansion. That pull is the unmistakable stir of personal growth rising within you like a swelling tide that can't be contained. You begin to devour books as though they're lifelines, each page offering new perspectives that ignite your imagination and challenge the status quo you once accepted without question. You find yourself signing up for courses on subjects you never thought you'd tackle: coding, creative writing, even public speaking, because every new skill feels like a victory lap for your evolving self. Conversations with friends transform from idle chit-chat into soulful explorations. You lean in when someone shares their dreams, their disappointments, their raw vulnerability, because you recognize that their journey holds mirrors for your own. You seek out mentors, coaches, and thought leaders whose words light sparks in your mind, and you realize that stagnation is no longer an option. It feels like a slow suffocation of your spirit. I've felt that longing pulse through me at 3 a.m. when my mind races with possibilities, new hobbies to explore, volunteer opportunities to embrace, philosophies to test, habits to refine. Growth isn't a checkbox on a to-do list. It's an urgent, insistent call from the depths of your soul, reshaping every corner of your existence. This deep craving means you're no longer willing to settle for safety or predictability. You yearn for experiences that stretch you, novels that break your heart, open workshops that thrust you out of your comfort zone, and relationships that demand honesty and challenge you to become better. In this sacred evolution, every moment becomes a classroom, every challenge a teacher, and every victory, no matter how small, a testament to the boundless capacity of your spirit. If you are still watching this video and find these lessons helpful, please comment number 2 below to let me know that you are still watching this video with me. Sign 6. You feel an urge to release toxic relationships and situations. Have you ever sat through a conversation that once felt familiar and comforting, only to leave with your spirit bruised and your energy utterly depleted? I remember the sinking realization that struck me like a cold wave. The laughter, the shared memories, even the inside jokes had lost their warmth. Instead of lifting me, these interactions weighed on my chest, whispering that something fundamental had shifted inside me. It wasn't their fault or mine. It was simply time. That growing discomfort is your most honest, self-demanding change. You start to notice patterns that used to fly under the radar: a friend who delights in your setbacks, a partner whose compliments feel hollow, a colleague whose support comes with invisible strings attached. Each passive-aggressive comment, each unmet promise becomes another brick in a wall that separates you from your highest potential. And in that moment, you realize that stepping away, no matter how painful, isn't an act of cruelty or selfishness, but the bravest form of self-respect. Letting go unleashes a mosaic of emotions: grief for the shared history you're leaving behind, guilt for walking away when we've been through so much, and even before relief, the fear that you might be making a mistake. I've felt those pangs, acutely hesitating on the brink of goodbye, heart fluttering with doubt. Yet every time I mustered the courage to say I deserve better, a new kind of lightness emerged. Almost immediately, my life was infused with fresh vitality. I began attracting relationships that felt like oxygen, people who celebrated my victories, held space for my vulnerabilities, and encouraged my wildest dreams. Opportunities I once thought impossible seemed to align effortlessly, as though the universe was applauding my decision to honor my worth. Releasing toxic ties isn't a one-time purge, but a sacred, ongoing commitment to your well-being. It's the profound recognition that the company you keep and the environments you inhabit directly shape the quality of your life. When you finally let go of what no longer serves you, you clear the path for connections and situations that truly uplift and inspire your soul. And in that newfound freedom, you discover the exhilarating truth you are always worthy of relationships that reflect the best, most authentic version of yourself. Sign 7. You experience a powerful disconnection from everything that no longer serves you. Have you ever woken up one morning and realized that the routines you once clung to, your morning coffee ritual, the same treadmill route, the autopilot scroll through social media, no longer spark joy or meaning? I've felt that jarring moment of recognition, as if the soundtrack of my life had suddenly changed. Key leaving the old melody, sounding out of tune. That hollow echo isn't failure. It's your spirit, gently but insistently telling you that the story you've been living has run its course. In this profound state of detachment, the very habits and thought patterns that once offered comfort begin to feel restrictive, like a favorite sweater that's suddenly too tight, or a melody you've heard one too many times. You might notice yourself pausing before reaching for your phone, puzzled by the urge that once felt reflexive. Or you may hesitate at the doorway of a routine meeting, surprised that the chatter you once found stimulating now feels painfully superficial. At first, this unmooring can trigger a cocktail of emotions: confusion, what's happening to me? Nostalgia for the familiar, I miss how things used to be, and even a touch of guilt. Am I being ungrateful? I've sat in that swirl of emotions, heart racing, wondering if I was abandoning parts of myself that once mattered. Yet, beneath that turbulent surface lies a sacred calm, a serene clearing in the forest of your life, freshly exposed and humming with possibility. That clearing is fertile ground for the authentic you to plant new seeds of purpose and passion. As the old weeds of complacency and conditioned thinking wither away, space opens for fresh dreams to take root. You might feel called to dive into a creative project you shelved years ago, explore corners of the world you've never seen, or simply sit in silence and listen to your heartbeat, discovering in its rhythm the next direction your life seeks to take. Each fragment you release, whether it's an outdated belief about what success looks like, a habit that drains your joy, or a mindset that limits your potential, creates a pulse of liberation. And with every pulse, you feel lighter, more aligned, more vibrantly alive. In this beautiful dissolution of the old, you're not losing yourself. You're finally finding the truest, most radiant expression of who you were always meant to be. And there you have it, the 7 powerful signs that you're standing on the threshold of your greatest transformation. From questioning everything you once believed to feeling an undeniable pull toward personal growth, each of these signals is your soul's loving invitation to step into a more authentic, vibrant life. So now, I want to hear from you what resonates the most with your journey so far. Which sign spoke to you? And what's one practice you'll commit to starting today to honor that shift? Share your insights in the comments below. Your experience could be the spark that helps someone else take their first courageous step. If you like this video, please leave your comment below. And don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to our YouTube channel. We've got so much more wisdom and inspiration coming your way, and I can't wait to continue this journey together.